Welcome to the other side. So a couple of things about the last video. I was feeling pretty parched at the start of the video, and my camera unfortunately does not have a pause button, so I just continued recording and my voice sounded like I was about to die, so I apologize for that. I have drank some water now, and I have a mug of water next to me, so if I feel parched again I will just take a sip from that instead of stopping the video. I was also zooming in and out a lot, especially zooming in, and I forgot that I had zoomed in, so I think for this video I'm actually not going to zoom in all that much. I will keep it at about this distance, and I can actually move in and out with the camera instead if I need to show something up close. So let's continue on with our next round here for Eclipse, and this is now round 3, and this is also an interesting part because this is our first colonization round. So let's begin by moving the marker here and taking all of these things away from the track itself, so we know what we have to place on the board later on, and then we move the marker to indicate that we are now at round number 3. So before we start with the colonization process, this is actually the round where you also upgrade the enemy AI, and the first round they just got a minor upgrade, so now they are getting a level 2 upgrade. So let's draw that and see which upgrade they get, and that is upgrade 2, improved hulls. Replace, let's see, it's a bit hard to see here. Replace the tile with the lowest upgrade number on each of the 4 ships layouts with an improved hull. So for this, for the first upgrade, we just placed it on the empty parts of the enemy AI ships, but for this we have to actually take a look at the upgrade numbers, and this upgrade is improved hull, which has an upgrade number of 5, so it's the 5th upgrade from the bottom here. So the ones that we can replace are these 4. You always go down from the upgrade that you are currently that you have currently drawn. So for instance, if all of our parts would have been 6 or higher, we would not upgrade anything because those parts are better than the improved hull. So in that case the improved hull upgrade would be wasted, but we actually do have some that are lower than improved hull on the different AI ships. Let's begin by taking a look at the interceptor. Now you can never upgrade the drives, those do not matter. The enemy AI does not move, but every ship has to have 1 drive, so those are never upgraded, those are left alone. The same is with the, I think the source, the kind of the engine parts of the, or the power generating parts, those you just leave alone as well. And for the enemy AI, you don't have to check for power consumption. It's assumed that the enemy AI can power everything with a nuclear drive, with a nuclear source, sorry. So you never have to worry about the power consumption. So basically for the interceptor, we have to look at the ion cannon and the electron computer. And if we actually take a look at these upgrade numbers, we see that the electron computer has a value of 3 and the ion cannon has a value of 4. Another interesting thing about enemy AI, they always have to have 1 weapon. So you can never upgrade over the ion cannon with anything but another weapon, unless there is another weapon on the other space here. So basically for the interceptor they only have these 2 spaces that they can upgrade. It's a fairly light ship, so that's the reasoning behind it. But in this case the Electron computer is actually worse than the improved hull, so we would place this back here, and we are going to take one of these improved hulls and upgrade the interceptor. Now for the cruiser, which is the next ship over, it has an Electron computer, an ion cannon, which I already talked about. We can't upgrade that, so the interesting parts are the hull and the Electron computer. And I think the hull is it's the lowest numbered one, so that's the one that always gets replaced. Now for the star here, that's the interceptor bay, so that's basically an upgrade ship tile from the expansion that should be on this space, but I don't have the expansion, so I've just made this extra tile with an interceptor on it instead. But like I said, for the cruiser, for this upgrade, specific upgrade, we upgrade the normal hull to the improved hull. So we do that now. We take this really fiddly. So we place the improved hull over the normal hull. So now the enemy cruiser has 2 armor, just as our cruiser has 2 armor. And then we get to the dreadnought, and here is it's basically the same. They have Electron computers and they have hulls. So we just upgrade the one of these hulls with an improved hull. Oh my god, here we go. So now the enemy dreadnought actually has 3 armor, and that's quite a lot. And to be honest, we have been pretty lucky with these upgrades. They have only gotten a computer and some hulls. It could be a lot worse than this. The same applies to the starbase. It will also upgrade one of its hulls to an improved hull. So there we go. And now we are done with the upgrade part here, so we can discard these upgrade cards, and we get to the colonization part of this turn. So when you are colonizing with the enemy AI, what you do is you go to your home sector, and then you move 1 space up towards the galactic center, and then the circle around here is the first part of the board that gets colonized. So for instance, if I had explored all of these hexes here, it will not be possible for the enemy AI to colonize any of those spaces. But in that case, we would just move 1 step up, and we would draw another bigger circle which the enemy AI can colonize. And unfortunately, the galactic center is open for colonization, so that's really bad. Do not let that happen. But we are fortunate here. We have 4 different hexes that the enemy AI can colonize. And to determine which of these the enemy AI will colonize, we obviously have to roll a die. So let's see, roll a die, and it's a 5. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of bright in here right now, but that's a 5. And to determine what space that is, like I said, you move up and then you go or you go clockwise, and you count the empty spaces. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are colonized. So this is 5. So now they will colonize here. And to do that, you draw a new hex here, you flip it over, and you get to place it any way you want. And basically I think I'm gonna place it like this. It doesn't really matter. I would need the warp gate technology, unless this is probably better. I think I will not be buying the warp gate technology, but there's a fairly large chance that I would explore here or here. So in that case, I could move into the new enemy colony. And I have already prepared these tokens for the enemy colony. The first colony gets 1 star base, which is symbolized by this token, and that's the ship itself. It gets 1 orbital, and this is basically, I don't know if I've talked that much about orbitals, but this is basically like an extra planet, with like an extra planet here that has one space on it where you can put a population cube on that space, and the only 2 that you can place on an orbital is economy or research. You cannot put material population cubes on orbitals, so they can only house economy and research. And on top of that, they get a diplomat, and you can actually, well, that's a yeah, that's a good reason to actually place this in a way that allows you to actually take diplomatic actions with them. But I think this is the best placement. Like I said, I can't move into this new hex anyway, even if I place one of these towards me here. So I think that placement is fine. But before we place all this, we take a look at the hex itself. And I talked about this before. These are ancient symbols, and the outline here is the discovery tile. So we first take one of these discovery tiles, we'll place it on the space there, and then we have to take 2 ancient ships, since there were 2 ancient symbols. And then you take the other stuff that will go on the hex, and you place that around here, like so. And then you take this enemy action disk to signify that the enemy has colonized, and you can also place the enemy AI can place population cubes on all the available spaces. It doesn't care if it's an advanced space or not. And they also place one on the orbital. And these are important because if you were to conquer this space, which means you would kill or defeat the ancients and the starbase. Basically, first you fight the starbase, and then you have to fight the ancients. So if you were to do that, you still have to destroy the population cubes before you can take over or recolonize this space yourself. There is an exception to this, and that is if you have the neutron bombs technology. In that case, as soon as you clear the space of enemy ships, the neutron bomb kill off all remaining population, and the disk gets removed from the board itself. So okay, we have successfully colonized a new colony for our enemy, and now this colony can either be attacked sorry, it can either be attacked, or you can take diplomatic actions with this diplomat, which will earn you some extra points. And that's actually what I want to do. But to do that, I would have to explore either here or here and actually connect these one of these two places with that place. Okay, so that was the enemy part of the turn, and now we get to take our turn, and I have quite a lot of research resources here, so it may be a good idea to actually research something, but I think to begin with we will actually explore and see what we find. So now we take one of these, and that's not a great tile, but okay, we will place it. So we will choose to place it here, connecting both to our home sector and to the new enemy colony, and we will choose to claim this as well. And then we get to use one of our colony ships and populate the new hex with an economy population cube. Okay, and as you can see, we are now down at -3 already. So if we were to take a diplomatic action and start diplomatic relations with this enemy colony here, it would cost us quite a lot, but our income has actually gone up, so we now get 6 per turn. So we actually can afford to do that if we want to. So I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna take an influence. I'm not quite sure if this is an influence action or what you need to do, but I think it is. I think you take an influence action and then you can pick one of your resources to place on the diplomat. So I will actually pick the economy again, just to get things rolling, and I will place the population cube on the diplomat. I think that's how it works. Like I said, I'm not quite sure. I've never used this part of the variant before, but I think that's how it works. And now we are at -5 upkeep. We do get 8 income, so that's not too terrible. And I think that we will actually research for our next action, and that will be the fusion source, because our ships do not have enough power, do not have quite enough power to actually house the more advanced technologies that we would like to upgrade them with. So I will take this fusion source, which normally costs 6, but with our -2 discount only costs 4, so that will move our research tracker down to 4. Okay, so I don't actually know if we can afford to take another action here, because that would mean that we would have to use either the research or the materials, and we would have to pay 3 of those to get 1 credit, so that we can actually pay for upkeep at the end of the turn, since we only have 1 credit in store, and we would have -10 to be able to -10 at the end of the turn at the upkeep phase to be able to actually do this. But it may be worth it, because we do actually want to upgrade that nuclear source, and hopefully we can get some shields or weapons soon. But I think I will leave it like this. It's kind of risky, and like I said, if we have to pay research, we have to wait for the research to fill up. If we pay materials, we will have to wait for materials to build up, so that we can build new ships for the upcoming attack that will be happening. So I think this is fine. It's not really great, but we did accomplish something here anyway for this turn. So now we end the turn and we get to the upkeep phase. Like I said, we have an income of 8, and we have to pay 7 for the upkeep, so we actually gain 1 credit here. And then we gain 4 research, bringing us up to 8, and we get 4 materials, bringing us up to 8 as well. Okay, and now we get to replenish our action discs down here and flip the colony ship back up. Okay, so that was turn 3. Like I said, we did not accomplish all that much, but it's something at least. So we now move the marker to turn 4, and this signifies a new attack by the enemy. So once again, we have to take a look at this attack card here, and we have to roll to see what type of force and where they will be attacking. Once again, roll a die here, and that's a 4. So that means we are getting attacked by 3 cruisers. I don't know if you can see this. This light is really... Let's see if I can fix this. It's really bright. I don't know if that did anything, but it's 3 cruisers, and let's see where the location is. That's a 6, so 6 plus 4 is 10. That basically again is the home base, because it's where we have the most of these, and I've still not looked these up. I don't remember what they are, but it's our home base again. So our home base is getting attacked by 3 cruisers this time, and that's pretty painful. Now this is actually too many models on one space, I think. So what you can do is you can use one of these tokens that symbolizes that there is something going on there. So you just put it on there, and then we put 3 cruisers to the side here, because this is the beginning of the turn, so we still can take actions before we have to resolve this combat phase here. So okay, this is turn 4, and now the question is what we would like to focus on. Basically these 3 ships are pinned down at my home base, so my 2 interceptors and my cruiser are pinned down by the enemy ships. I cannot move them, but I could build some more ships there if I would like to, and I don't actually know if I want to, because as it stands right now, if we take a look at the ships that are involved in this battle, my cruisers are better than their cruisers, and well, basically I have one cruiser, but my interceptor is not gonna do that much actually. So let's see, we have 8 research and 8 materials. So that would be enough to build or to research plasma cannons. Or alternatively, I could research phase shields, which would basically negate their computers. And that would actually mean that they would only hit on A6, while my cruisers would still be hitting on 3, 4, 5, and 6. Actually, that's probably better because I need to get to the galactic center soon. So I think I'm gonna take a research action here. I'm going to pay 8 because that's the cost for the phase shields. I have this is a military upgrade and I have nothing in that tier or that tree, so I do not get any discounts, and therefore that costs 8 now. So now we have the phase shields. I will obviously need to upgrade my ships as well. Now it doesn't matter if you build ships first or upgrade ships first and then build them. These blueprints are for all existing ships on the board, so it really does not matter what order you are doing these things in. But I will upgrade, and phase shields actually need energy to function, and to be able to do that I have to upgrade my power source. So as my first upgrade I will take a fusion source and I will place that on my cruiser. So now it has a power level of 6, and as my second upgrade I will take a phase shield, and this I will place over the electron computer, lowering my chance to hit, but also lowering the chance that the enemy can hit me. And on top of that, for my third upgrade, since I get 3 upgrades, being this specialized alien race, I think I will actually yeah, I will take another phase shield here, and I will give it to my dreadnought. No, wait, I can't do that. I will do I'll do this instead. I'll take a fusion source and upgrade my dreadnought, because I plan on building some dreadnoughts in the future, and basically the interceptors are really hard to upgrade. You basically get 1 upgrade slot for anything but the weapon, and once you have committed something there, it needs to be something fantastic to replace it. So I will just keep it like that. And this is now pretty dangerous if I leave it like this. So right now we have 2 interceptors and 1 cruiser against 3 of the enemy cruisers, and that's not gonna go all that well for me, I think, especially since my cruiser only hits can hit with an ion cannon. I also forgot to mention this. The ion cannon uses a yellow die. I did mention that, but the star inside the die actually shows how many hits this particular weapon does. So the ion cannon is the basic weapon. It does 1 one hit worth of damage, so to speak. Then we have the plasma cannon, which does 2 hits, and the antimatter cannon, which do 4 hits on, or do 4 damage on each hit. You have specialized missile weapons as well, which actually ignore initiatives at the beginning of battle, and these are fired before any other normal weapons can be fired, but they are only fired once. That's why they are so powerful. So for example, the plasma missiles can do 4 damage, but once they have rolled once, it's spent. So yeah, like I said, this is pretty dangerous situation, so we can't just leave it like this. So we actually have to, I think we have to build here as well. We have 8 material resources, and since our cruisers cost 4 and are the best ships that we have available to us right now, I think I will actually build 2 cruisers here. That will cost me 8, and I will place those on my home hex here. Okay, so that's a pretty formidable force that we have assembled here, and our upkeep is still -7 only, and we have an income of 8, but we are pretty spent on all resources and we cannot afford to go down. We could actually take one more action and then we will be at at 0 sum at the end of upkeep, but I don't actually know what that action would be, since I have basically no resources at all. I could take an exploration action and see what the next tile would bring me. That might be an idea, actually. I'm not too sure. I don't know if that's risky or not. That would actually bring us down to 0 resources all across the board, and that might be a bit risky, since I obviously can't claim the new explored space, so I would only be able to explore it and not really claim it, and then I would have to take an influence action to actually claim it. So I think I will not do that. I will end my turn, and now we get to the combat phase. And now this is like before, we check for initiative first, and my interceptors still have initiative of 4. My cruisers have initiative of 3, since we built, I think we upgraded something. No, it had initiative of 3 last turn as well. I was just thinking that we had an extra initiative somewhere, but they have an initiative of 3. My interceptors have initiative of 4, and their cruisers have initiative of 2. So it's the same as last combat. Basically, there we go. So, basically my interceptors attack first, my cruisers attack after that, and then their cruisers get to attack. Now they have upgraded their cruisers, so they can actually absorb 2 hits, and they are just as strong defensively as my own cruisers. So this will be a bit harder. This will be a bit harder to resolve than the last combat, and I'm not too sure that I will get to keep all my ships after this is done. But let's see. So we get to roll first. My interceptors still only have ion cannons, so they roll 1 yellow die for each interceptor, which are 2 dice. And that's a 5 and a 3. They have a positron computer, so they hit on 4, 5 and 6, so they do 1 damage. And you get to assign the damage wherever you want it. So I will just place it beside one of these. I don't think I will be using the tray. It doesn't function well with this lighting. I have to do something about this pretty soon. But we move on to my cruisers, which also have 1 ion cannon, and they get to roll 1 die each, 1 yellow die. And they also hit on 4, 5 and 6 now, because we have replaced the electron computer with our phase shields. So let's see. And that's 1, a 4 and a 5. So that's basically 2 hits. I will assign both hits to this cruiser here, and since it can absorb 2 hits, it gets killed on the 3rd hit, and then this gets destroyed, and we get to flip it up here to show that it's destroyed. Okay, so now we get to the enemy attack phase, and this is what I feared, because now they will probably destroy my interceptors, since they have no shielding, and the enemy cruisers actually hit on 4, 5 and 6 as well. So we get 1 die each for them, 1 yellow die. And would you believe it, it's a 1 and a 3, so we did roll pretty lucky there. So they miss, they completely miss, and we get to do this all over again. So 2 dice for my interceptors, and that's a 6 and a 4. So that's 2 hits actually. So we now place 2 damage tokens behind one of those cruisers. And now we get to roll for my own cruisers. And that's a 6, a 3 and a 3. So that's only 1 hit, but we at least get to destroy 1 of the enemy cruisers. Okay, and now the enemy cruiser attacks. And that's a 1, so it misses again. This is unbelievable. This has never happened before. I'm kind of excited now. My interceptors attack again, and that's a 5 and a 1, so at least 1 hit. And then my cruisers attack, and that's the same roll again, a 6, 3 and a 3, so another hit, but it's still functional, so it gets to attack 1 more time, and it's a 5 this time. Now the enemy cruiser, like I said, hits on 4, 5 and 6, but since my cruisers have this phase shield, that lowers the cruiser roll by 2. So the enemy cruiser cannot hit my cruiser because it needs a 6 to be able to hit my cruiser, but it can hit my interceptor here. It doesn't, this phase shield does not lower the rolls for the other ships, just for the ship in question. So it can still hit the interceptor, and it will do that. Now the enemy AI functions like this: if it can destroy a ship, it does that. If it cannot destroy a ship with its roll, it will attack the largest ship and do damage to that ship. But this time it can destroy my cruiser, since it has no hull plating, and it goes away. And now we get to roll again. Actually, we could roll for all 4 of these, since they hit on the same number. So I will roll for all 4, and we need a 4+. and that's 4, 5, 4, and a 2. So that's plenty of hits. And the enemy cruiser is destroyed. Okay, so that was pretty successful, I think. So let's just get these ships on the correct hex here. There you go. And in addition, we get to draw reputation tiles. We have destroyed 3 ships and we have participated in a battle, so we get to draw 4 reputation tiles. Here we go. Let's see if we can get lucky with these. That's a 3 and a 1. And that's a 4. That's 2 4s actually. So that's really lucky. So we obviously take the 4, place it on our reputation track here, and then we clean these up and place them back. Okay, so that was really successful, I think. It was one of the better combats I've done playing this game. And now we get to the upkeep phase. Like I said, we have 8 income minus 7, so we get 1 additional credit, and we get 4 research and 4 materials, so both of those go up to 4. Okay, and we get to refresh these at the cleanup phase, and we have not settled and used our colony ships to do anything, so we don't have to refresh those. And then we can move on to the next round, which is another upgrade and colonize round, and that is round number 5. So we move the colony stuff here, and now I think this is actually wrong. I think they get let me see. I think they will get 1 extra thing. No, it's actually correct. So here we have the colonization markers. I thought that they would get a monolith during this turn as well, but they do not actually get a monolith. They get the same stuff that they get during round 3, which is a star base, an orbital, and a diplomat. So okay, first let's see what the upgrades are, and this is the interesting turn, because this turn the enemy AI will get 1 level 2 and 1 level 3, and that can be devastating depending on what the upgrade is. So let's draw that. Let's draw the level 2 first, and that's pretty bad. Upgrade 2, phase shields. Replace the tile with the lowest upgrade number on each of the 4 ship layouts with a phase shield. Now that is pretty bad, and we got lucky with the last attack. I think our luck has finally run out, and we will see much tougher combat from now on. Hopefully they will not attack my home base anymore, because that would be pretty bad. If they attack one of these outpost colonies, I might actually just let them destroy that, because otherwise my fleet will be destroyed together with them. But let's do this. Let's take the phase shields. Then we have to figure out what parts are upgraded. And like I said, each ship, each enemy AI has to have at least 1 weapon. So either a conventional weapon or the missiles. And for the interceptor, this means that the improved hull is actually going to go away. And it will get replaced by phase shield. Take a look at the upgrade numbers here. We see that the phase shields are number 8, while the improved hull is number 5. Okay, and we move on, and for the enemy cruiser, it's actually the electron computer that will get replaced, since that is the lowest numbered. And that's pretty bad, because now they have both improved hulls and phase shielding, and they will be pretty tough to hit. Now both of us will have to roll. Well, actually they can't even hit, their cruisers can't hit my cruisers. Now this is basically a problem with this variant, but it's okay if the enemy can hit you, because they upgrade so much that they will probably get a better computer pretty soon. So that's not a big deal. It's much worse if you can't hit the enemy, then you are in real trouble. Okay, so we move on, and for the enemy dreadnought, it's actually the hull that gets upgraded. And this is really bad. Let's hope we do not face any dreadnoughts, because they are even worse than the cruisers now. And for the enemy starbase, it's the electron computer that gets upgraded. Okay, so that was our level 2 upgrade, and now we get to draw the big one, the level 3 upgrade. And there we go, immediately, as soon as I said it, as soon as I called it, it's glue-on computers. Replace the tile with the lowest number upgrade on each of the 4 layouts with a glue-on computer. That's pretty bad. The glue-on computers have a +3 modifier. And now you see why I think that this variant is actually rather difficult. Once you hit that round 5 upgrade spot, you're basically not going to be able to fight on equal terms unless you have done something amazing, and I am not an amazing player at this game, so yeah, that's not going to happen for me. But let's go through the upgrades again. Here we are kind of lucky, because the phase shield will go away. If we take a look at the upgrade numbers again, we see that the glue-on computers have a number 12, so they are the second most powerful upgrade that the enemy AI can get, and the phase shield just have a value of 8, so they are replaced. So we take a glue-on computer for the enemy interceptor, and for here we actually replace the electron computer for the enemy cruiser. There we go. And the same happens with the enemy dreadnought. It gets a computer, and now this thing is really powerful. It hits on a roll of 2+, and it cannot be hit on and you have to roll at least you have to have a combined roll of 8 to be able to hit this thing, so this is really tough now. For the starbase, the electron computer as well goes away. There we are. Okay, let's tidy this up a bit. And that was the upgrade phase of the AI. Now we get to the colonize phase of the AI, and once again we have to, let's use the red die, maybe it's better visible. We have to roll and that's a 6. So basically now only these two spaces are open, so you can just alternate between them. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they colonize this space here, which is bad because we are not connected to that place, but okay. We have to place, I think we will place it like this. And this new tile does not have any ancients on it, so they just get to claim it without any fuss. Need to place the star base, the orbital and the diplomat, and then they get to populate with their cubes. So here we go. That was the start of turn 5, and I thought it looked okay, but now it does not look good at all. I think that it would actually be quite dangerous to explore this tile, because then we run into the problem that they can actually colonize the galactic center, and if they roll a 1 on the next colonization step, they will colonize the galactic center, and that would be terrible. So I will not be doing that. Question is, what should I be doing? Take a look at our advanced tiles. We basically have one advanced research here and one advanced economy there. So that's not a lot. We also have one advanced mining hiding underneath the cruisers here. So we have spread out, we have 3 different advanced spaces. So basically these advanced technologies are not going to help us all that much. For instance, if you had 2 advanced economy spaces, you could buy the advanced economy and then bring up your civilization, what's it called? I keep forgetting. Well, basically the money that you earn for the turn, you could bring that up to 12 if that was the case, but as it sits we can only bring it up to 10, and I don't know if that's gonna be good enough, since we actually need some weapons. The enemy AI is pretty powerful, but so far it only has the starter weapons. So if we can avoid them getting weapon upgrades on the next upgrade phase, then we might have a chance at defending most of our spaces here. So I think, I don't know. Now this is actually the problem. This is why I like this game. It's quite thinky, even though it's pretty simple. It's really thinky. Like I said, you would think that this being the military upgrade tree or technology tree, that you would focus here for your military upgrades. But as you can see, I have actually taken from the grid upgrades most of my parts. And the most powerful weapon is at the grid upgrade level. So I don't actually know what to do here. I only have 4 research, so that's not a lot. And that's actually not enough to research the plasma cannon. Unless I pay one of the other research or one of the other resources, but I don't know if that's, yeah. Well, I think I have to do this. Maybe there's a smarter way to do this. If I upgrade or if I reset the fusion drive, that will allow me to move 2 hexes, and then I can move 2 of these cruisers into the galactic center. And actually the galactic center can't hit my cruisers since they have -2 or the phase shields, which give -2, so they would actually be immune to the galactic center. It hits on a 5 and a 6, but they modify that roll, their roll by -2, so they would not be able to hit my cruisers at all. So I think that's a smart idea. I will research, and I will pay 4 for the fusion drive here. So I pay 4 research, and then I will upgrade, and I will get fusion drive. These also give you initiative, so these are really important. I will upgrade 2. Now I actually think for the third, instead of upgrading my interceptors, I will actually give the dreadnought a phase shield here, because I'm thinking that I would probably build a dreadnought pretty soon, and the interceptors are not that important. I also only have 1 interceptor left, so that's not that big of a deal. And then my third action would be a move action, so I will move here into the galactic center, which is 2 steps, and now my cruisers can move 2 hexes. And yeah, that would basically be my turn. I don't actually know how it works. I don't think that you can place an influence disk on this space right now if I were to defeat the galactic center, which I will be doing. That's for certain. I think you have to wait for the next turn anyway, but I will stop this video now anyway, and I will check that, and I will see you on the other side.